Welcome back. Let's quickly solve this question. We are still on the past question. So this is the last one we are going to solve under bisection method, and we move over to the second question on the past question. So we are asked to use bisection method to find the root of the equation. So we write our solution. So you know that f of a is less than 0 and f of b is greater than what? 0. So let's test this. F of what? 1 will be 1 squared minus 2, which is equals to what? Negative 1. So negative 1 is less than 0. So let's test f of 2. It will be 2 squared minus 2, which is what? 4. So 4 is greater than 0. So we are going to have bisection for x1. So our x1 will now be what? Our interval will be where the root lies 1 comma what? 2. So a comma what? B. So we are going to have 1 plus 2 over 2. So remember our formula. Our formula is what? A plus b over 2. So a is where it is less than, so which is this one. We have 1 where is greater than is this one. So we're going to have 1 plus 2 all over 2. So our x1 will give us what? 3 over 2, which is 1.5. So I've gotten the value for x1. So let's find for f of x1. F of x1, if we plug it here, it's going to be what? 1.5 squared minus 2. So 1.5 squared is, where's my calculator? 1.5. So we are going to have 2.25 minus 2. Will give us 0.25. So I've gotten our f of x1. So we iterate again. So x2 will be what? So we are getting positive here, right? We are getting positive here. So we have our negative. Okay, for f of x2, when f of x2 will now be, what are we going to use to do the bisection? We already have our 1 comma, so we have 1, then we still have our 1.5, 1.5 yielded us this. So we have 1 comma 0, 1 comma 1.5 still. So 1.5 yielded us this positive. So we still have our negative, which is at 1. Yes. So f of x1, which is f of x of 0.1, yielded us positive. So we are going to replace this positive 2 with this 1.5. So the 2 have completed its work. So this is our interval. Let me write it first before. So our interval is 1 comma 1.5. So we are going to have our x2. So we are going to iterate 1 plus 1.5. Bisect it, sorry. So we're going to have 2.5 all over 2 divided by 2 will give me 1.25. So we are going to have f of x2 will be putting 1.5 here, 1.25 squared minus 2. 1.25 times 1.25 will give me, which is equals to 1.5625 minus 2, which will give me what? F of x2 is minus 0.4375. So that's it. So our interval will be what? What will be our interval? We still have our negative. So we are going to replace, because we have gotten negative here. So we are going to, what gave us the negative? F of x2, which is 1.25. So we are going to replace it with this value, 1.25, comma. This one is still positive. No one is still challenging this one. Unless we have a negative, a positive value, it will remove it and put another one. So we go for x3. X3 will be 1.25 plus 1.5 all over 2. So which will give us what? 1.25 plus 1.5 will give us 2.75 over 2, which is 1.375. So we are going to have f of x3 to be, f of x3 will be what? Putting it here, 1.375, then squared minus 2. So 1.375, 1.375, then minus 2 will give us what? Negative 0.109375. So I'm not even approximating anything. So our interval will now be, I've gotten negative here, so it's going to replace this one. What gave us negative? 1.375. So comma, this one is still where it is, 1.5. Wow, 1.5 don't want to go out. 1.5 don't want to go out. So let me clean. So our x4 will be this, 1.4375. So our f of x4 will be what? Putting it here, we are going to have 1.4375 squared minus 2. So we'll be getting 0.0661. I've approximated this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 64. I've approximated this one to 4 digits. So our interval where the root lies will now be, where is that our former interval? I think this is our former interval. So we are going to replace this one with this f of what? With this f of x4, or with this x4 value, because it yielded us positive. So we are going to have 1.4375. Okay, no. Yeah, this thing will continue. 1.375. This place is concerned with negative. We have not gotten negative. So we are going to replace this 1.5 with what? 1.4375. Because it yielded us, the value here yielded us positive. So, or you can say here. So, our x5 will be, so we bisect this as 1.4375 all over 2. So my x5 will be 1.375 plus 1.4375 divided by 2. I'm going to get 1.40625. That's my f5. So f of x5, x of 5 will be what? Put it here, 1.40625 squared minus 2. 1.40625 squared minus 2 will give me minus 0.0225. Approximately 1, 2, 3, 4. Approximately. So my interval will now be, this one is giving me negative, right? So we are going to replace this with what? This value, which is 1.40625 Now we still keep this one active, 1.4375. So yes, finding this interval is not hard. The one that gave you negative, you are going to replace it. Which value did you plug that gave you negative? This value. You are going to replace it with it. This one is still positive. It will stay continue. So my x is will now be 1.40625 plus 1.4375. So all over 2. 1.40625 plus 1.4375 and divided by 2. So I'm getting 1.421875. So my f of x is will be what? Put it in this equation, 1.421875 squared minus 2, which will give me what? Which will give me what? 1.421875 squared minus 2 will give me what? 0.02173 approximately. Now our interval where the root lies will be, we have positive, right? So what's our last interval? It will not change. So we have 1.40625. Only this one will change because we have gotten positive. So we are going to replace it. What gave us this? 1.421875. X7 will now be 1.40625 plus 1.42185 all over 2. 1.40625 plus 1.421875 divided by 2 will give me 1.4140. Let me approximate it. 1.414. Now my f of x7 my f of x7 will be what? My f of x7 is 1.4141 squared minus 2. 1.4141 squared minus 2. We'll be having, I hope you can see it. So we'll be having negative 0.0003332 something something. So let's just leave it to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll be having, I've gotten this. So let's take our interval. Interval will be, which one is our last interval? So we are going to replace this with this because it's yielded negative. So we have 1.4141, comma. We keep this one as it is, as this one. So we are going to have x8 will be what? 1.4141 plus 1.421875 all over 2. Going to have 1.4141 plus 1.4211875 divide by 2. Going to be having 1.4141 1.417 okay 79875. So approximately, okay, let me even check. 41 okay 1.141. So approximately we'll be having 8.878. So I hope you can see it from there. So we'll be having our f of x8. So let me write it here. F of x8 will be what? 1.418 squared minus 2, which will give us what? 1.418 squared minus 2 to give us 0.01012347. So I'm going to, we have positive here. So my x8, the interval, what was our last interval? So this one, 1.4141, which is for negative. Then for positive, we are going to replace it with this, because we got positive 1.418. So this will be our interval. So my x9 will be 1.4141 plus 1.418 all over 2. Let me refill this one. So we'll be having 1.4161 approximately to 4 dp. So what are we going to do? F of x9 will be 1.4161 squared minus 2. We're going to have 1.4161 squared 2.0053 minus 2 will give us f of x9 to be what? 0.0053 to 3 dp. So I hope you can see it from there. So these are f of x9. So where was our interval? They have positive, right? What's our former interval? So negative is still there, 1414. What gives us positive is this. So we are going to put this 1.4161. We go for x10. We are trying to see if we can get an approximate value. That's where it will converge. The value should be the same thing, but we have not gotten sense. So you see this one, and where is that x8? I've forgotten. They are not the same. So we have our x10 to be 1.4141 plus 1.4161 all over 2. So 1.4141 plus 1.4161 divided by 2, which will give me 2.9151. 1.4141 plus 1.4161 divided by 2. Sorry, it's my calculator, 1.4151. So our f of x10 will be 1.4151 squared minus 2. 1.4151 squared minus 2 is giving me 0.0025 place to 4 dp. So our root lies between, we have positive here. What's our former distance? So negative will stay where it is. So what gave us positive when we plug in 1.4151? So our x 11 will be 1.4141 plus 1.4151 all over 2. So give me 1.4141 plus 1.4151 divided by 2. You give me 1.4146. 4146. So we are trying to convert. So my f of x 11 will be what? 1.4146 squared minus 2. 1.4146 squared minus 2 will give me 0.0010. That's 1 approximately. So where is our root? Where does it lie? So we are having positive, so the negative is still the 1.4141, 1.4146. That's this one. So my x12 will be 1.4141 plus 1.4146 all over 2. Please, this thing should converge now. Plus 1.4141. This thing should try and converge. I'm tired. Divided by 2. You give me 1.4144 approximately. 4144 approximately. So f of x12 will give me what? 1.4144 squared minus 2. So 1.4144 squared minus 2 to give me 0.0005 approximately. So my interval will now be, this one is still the 1.4141 comma, then this one will replace with 1.4144. So let me clean the board. Basically my x13 will now be 1.4141 plus 1.4144 all over 2. 1.4141 plus 1.4144 divided by 2. This will give me 1.4143 approximately. So my f of x13 will be 1.4143 squared minus 2. 1.4143 squared minus 2. I'm going to be getting 0.0002. So my interval will now be, what's my last interval? 1.4141. Then, comma, this will replace with 1.4143. I'll replace the positive side. So my x14 will be 1.4141 plus 1.4143 all over 2. So this will give me 1.414 plus 1.414 3 divided by 2. So I'm getting 1.4142. So I'm going to stop here. At least it provides 1 point as x13. Consider so the root lies between this 1.414. You see 1.414, x11 1.414 placed. So if you do another one now, this one might be 1, the next one. So square root of 2. So I've even gotten the correct answer, the root of this equation, because if you do this thing, x squared is equal to 2. So square both sides. Square root of 2 will give us 1.4142 correctly to this one. So the root lies between x14, that's 1.4142. That's where the root lies, the root of the equation. Thank you for watching and may God bless you. Bye bye.